All right. Well, that is going to bring us to Crowdfunding Corner. In Crowdfunding Corner, each week we look at board games that are on Kickstarter, Gamefound, and other crowdfunding websites that end in like the next 7 to 14 days usually. I think there are 8 games we're going to look at this week. Since there are so many, we're going to go through them a little bit quickly. But yeah, so that's the goal here. First one is called Polaris. Polaris is the, I don't know what kind of name that is, the official name for the North Star. So the idea here is Polaris, the North Star, is in the center of this cool board, and the outside edge of the board rotates. It's a pretty simple game where you're just trying to kind of match patterns, but it's pretty. Has a rotating board, has these cool star pieces that you'll be placing out on these intersections. And then you have to place little connector pieces between those intersections to build like certain star patterns. To do that, you'll be taking cards and then playing cards. And the card that you play, I think, has to match the moon cycle of the area you place your piece in. And so as that outside ring rotates, that will kind of dictate where you can play your pieces. You can see it kind of rotating there. This game was designed by Simone Luciani, an incredibly famous board game designer, but this is a much, much simpler board game than most of his games. It's kind of an abstract game in a way. Looks pretty cool. It has some glow-in-the-dark pieces, which is very on theme. Has 2 different versions. The standard version that still has these cool like plastic star pieces, but then I think the connector pieces are cardboard, and even these link pieces are cardboard. And then they have their deluxe version where those are replaced with wood and metal coins. And you can also get it bundled with their last game, Sea Dragons, with these cool wooden dragons. So a few different options there. I think it's a pretty solid price, $38 for that standard version. And I don't think the shipping is too bad. Let's just double check here. Friendly shipping. Yeah, $9.
What does non-friendly shipping look like?
That's a good question. I think they are allowed to call it friendly shipping if, when it comes to your country, there aren't like tariffs or additional taxes added.
Oh,
I think is why they call it friendly shipping. Anyways, but pretty friendly shipping.
that's crazy
in America. So there you go. That is Polaris. A kind of abstract game from Luciani, and I think one other designer who I should probably give their credit, Andrea Mainini, I believe. And that one's on Kickstarter, ends on Thursday, November 28th, on Thanksgiving. So while you're eating some stuffing here in America and some turkey, right before that tryptophan nap, make sure to check this one out.
It's almost Thanksgiving already.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Oh my goodness.
All right, next up is a set of 3 games: DNA, Habitopia, and Synthesis. This is from a company called, I think, Timashev? Where is it?
Timashev
Publishing or something. His name is Timashev. I think the
he slightly changed
name
it.
is slightly different. But it's 3 different games, a kind of bigger one and 2 smaller ones. And you can get them in a cool bundle if you want. And the bundle, if you get it, comes with like a mini expansion for a couple of the games and deluxe pieces, which I do very much enjoy. Wooden pieces over cardboard. So if you want all 3 games, that's a cool kind of thing to do there. Cool deluxe dice. The 3 games. DNA. In this one, you are getting these DNA pieces. Kind of reminded me of, what's that game over there called? Harmonies, where you're trying to get different patterns of DNA pieces in order to, what would you call it? Craft isn't the right word, but craft animals. And then put them out kind of on the board, I think. And whoever can do that the best is the winner. That one has some cool pieces, some cool animal cards. Next is Habitopia. And this one is in a small metal tin. And the cards are double-sided. The front side has an animal on it, and the back side has 4 different habitats on it. So when you take a card, you can choose to keep. You get to choose what side to use, either the animal, or you can use the backside to place it out, kind of in your little tableau of sorts. So you'll be drawing a card, and on the front of the card you can also see the habitats on the back. So you might use it for the back to build out your kind of habitats, or you can add the animal. That's Habitopia, small little one. And then the last one is called Synthesis. And this one, you are rolling these like gene dice, and then I think you're drawing in like the different gene shapes in order to synthesize different animals and do that the most.
You mean craft?
Oh yeah, craft different DNA strands or something in the most effective way possible. So it's a roll and write game.
Interesting that in a bundle of 3, they would have 2 with a similar aesthetic or idea, like
with the genes and
with the genes.
Yeah, it is really interesting. The gameplay is much different, but yeah, they kind of doubled down on that, which is kind of funny. So there's those 3 games. The bundle is actually pretty well priced. Let me get to the pledges and I think the shipping's pretty good too. Let's look. Shipping $5.
They should have done 501.
501
for Levi's, because this is all about jeans.
There you go. Yeah, $5.01.
It was so close.
It was. And then the 3-game bundle is only $9. That's, again, very generous for shipping. And I'm pretty sure if I scroll down, the games are $15 USD for the small Habitopia one, 25-ish for Synthesis, and 40-ish for DNA, the biggest of the 3. Or you can get them all together with all the deluxe upgrades for $79, plus $9 in shipping, $88 delivered to you for 3 games. That's not too bad. So that is that set of games. DNA, what was the Habitopia and Synthesis, and this isn't scrolling fast enough for me. Where is that thing go? You can do it. There we go. And that one ends on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, November 29th. Next up is a reprint and an expansion of a very, very famous game that came out 7 years ago called Clans of Caledonia. And this is a reprint with a new expansion. And if you get the bundle, it's all put together in like a big box with like a nice insert, I think. I have not played Clans of Caledonia, but I think it's like number 70 on Board Game Geek's top 100 games of all time. It's supposed to be excellent. It's a bit heavy. It's 3.75 out of 5 about. And this expansion, I think, adds like a new board with trains. Let me see if I can find them. Yeah, different train paths that you can make and make deliveries, I think. Yeah, trains, deliveries, milestones, contracts, awards, a farmer's market, and a solo automa or automa. I'm not sure exactly how that is meant to be pronounced. So lots going on in there. I'm not going to talk too much more about it. If you've liked Clans of Caledonia, you can get the expansion, or if you haven't played that one and want to really badly, you can get the whole thing. Kind of pricey, at least shipping wise. I think it's like 20 euros, which is about $25 in shipping. And then the rewards aren't too bad. It's like $42 for the expansion, or $42 for the base game, or you can get them bundled together for $83, save $1 with the bundle. But it does come in like the bigger box with the lidded inserts. They were very deliberate, or they put the word lidded in there a bunch of times. So there are lids on those inserts, in case you were wondering. So that's Clans of Caledonia. I love a good heavy Euro game, so I just have a lot of them that are heavy that I need to get to. Like Devin and I played Revive a few months ago, and I want to play that one some more and maybe get that expansion. I have Age of Innovation behind me, which is supposed to be amazing, and I think I might enjoy better than this one. So I don't know. It's just hard to get too many of these really heavy Euros. I just need to kind of dedicate some time to playing the ones I have first, and figuring out which ones I want to keep. But that one also ends next Friday on the 29th. Clans of Caledonia, Industria. Okay, this next one is on Gamefound, and it is called Royal Hospital. And in this one, you are running a hospital. And it's a medium weight Euro game with engine building where you are, it also says here, tableau building and resource management. There's a bit going on some of these boards. It says players make decisions about how to structure their hospital, how to treat their patients, and invest their resources. I thought it looked fairly unique, has a lot of cards. The artwork, like, maybe isn't like my favorite, but I can get past that on cards. I really like these, this is just David being vain here. They have metal versions of these tokens, and they're painted metal, is what it's called. I'll show you what they look like in a minute. And they have nice wooden upgraded pieces for most of the other stuff. If you get this crowdfunded version, a metal starting player token, and yeah, these painted metal tokens. Oh, here they are. Those look hot.
Oh, those are clean, actually.
Yeah, I really like those. When it said painted, and I was looking at it here, I was like, painted on metal? I feel like that would look terrible, but they do. They look very well done. There aren't like smudges or anything. Yeah, those are cool. So yeah, pretty medium weight Euro game. I need to do a little more research on this one to see if the gameplay is unique enough for me to want to look into it. I have a lot of medium weight Euros, but cool theme. I wonder how much in the weeds it gets. Like, do I have to run the ER or like see someone come in with a broken arm? That might be a little morbid, but maybe that'll be fun.
Scary.
That one's on Gamefound until December 3rd. So check out Royal Hospital until then. Okay, next up is a very big one. Earlier, it was either really early this year or last year sometime, a game came out called Hegemony from this same company, the Hegemonic Project Games. And it's a very, very complex game about like political parties, kind of. And I haven't played Hegemony. I'm a little bit intimidated by it. And I think like trying to like win influence for your party across the country. This is a new game from the same company. It seems to have kept the same kind of political intrigue. And yeah, the ultimate international relations simulator. I've heard that Hegemony is absolutely amazing, but as like a theme goes, I couldn't be less interested. You know?
I agree. Yep.
I'm not like huge into politics, and it's not just like, I'm just more into fake things, I guess. Fiction, baby. Give me that sci-fi and fantasy all day long. But nothing against it. It's definitely unique and stands out because of, kind of the way that they have leaned in to this theme. Again, this is another one I need to research a bit just to know if the gameplay is perfect enough that I could get past the theme. Really, really high props for them, again, just doubling down on it. And I think the components and like the artwork and everything looks really clean. So I would probably really enjoy the game, but this is one I would want someone else to buy, I think, and then me try it. But maybe they have it on a Tabletop Simulator. Let's look here in real time. I feel like they would mention that, though. Retailer shipping. Kind of pricey shipping again. I'm curious, how much is this game? I didn't get to look at the price here. You've got basic pledge at $59. The gameplay pledge, it looks like it has an expansion. An educational booklet. Wow. For what's that one? $74. Superpower, which has deluxe pieces for $132. And Global Hegemon also looks like it has a playmat and some more stuff for 170. So I don't know. If you're into that theme, I'm guessing you will love this one if you really loved Hegemony. So again, I would really like to try them. I just don't know if I visually like have the pull into the theme, but that's a David thing for sure. That one is on here until a date that we'll know after we're done scrolling. It has 6,000 backers, man. A lot of people are pumped about it.
Wild.
Kind of crazy. December 5th. So you got Thanksgiving and then one more week for this 2 to 3 hour game. World Order. All right. Next up is another big game in a very, very, very different theme. This is Lands of Evershade.
This theme is much better.
It's more exciting to me as like I go to games for like a escape from like reality a little bit. I don't know. This also is not a David game, but for a different reason. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Too scary.
Yeah, much too. Look at that guy's teeth.
Yeah. My heart rate's so high right now.
But this is Lands of Evershade by Awaken Realms. They generally make humongo games. They did Grim Coven, that one we looked at 4 or 5 months ago. That kind of looked like Bloodborne, the game, with humongous cool miniatures.
They don't need any more funding. Did you see how much they passed their goal?
Oh yeah. A lot of these companies will put the goal really low so that this percentage will look humongous, right? So they've done 7,000% their goal. But yeah, I mean, we're almost at $4 million for this guy.
Wow.
They get the reason. So just they've got 12,655 backers, so about double Hegemony's or World Order's backer numbers. But World Order was like 400,000?
600.
600,000?
Mm-hmm.
So if you double that, you're at 1.2. And that's a pretty pricey game, right? It was like $60 to $160 before shipping. The reason this bad boy is at 4 million with only double the number of backers is the pledge prices. So you got 323 for the featured pledge.
Wow.
And I think there is maybe a higher one, but there are some lower ones. People come to Awaken Realm games for the miniatures. It's going to come in a giant box, and everything's going to look super cool and pretty. Like, look at that. It's awesome.
Way cool. I get attached to the miniatures as well. It's hard for me to get past this basic wooden meeple sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. But I generally try to keep the games in my collection like an average of $20 to $30. And so, I mean, this is going to cost like 10 to 15 times that. That's the holdup for me with one of these games. Again, I would love to play it, just like I would love to play Grim Coven, but I could not get myself to pay $400 for it. But I think this one is a cooperative dungeon crawl. You're moving your dudes on a map, fighting bad guys. Has like a bunch of different scenarios and narrative stuff with like a narrative book. It's kind of like halfway RPG-ish, they say, with tactical quick combat. Cool miniatures. See if I can find some of them. We got the sun drop highlights. I mean, just
fun.
Cool pieces.
I would like to paint a little miniature and spend a couple hours really.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it would be. Some people get really into that.
I don't know that I want to do it as like a hobby all the time, but I want to try it.
Yeah, find like 5 miniatures you really thought were cool and just paint those 5.
Yeah, I have the Bloodborne ones.
Yeah, that would be fun to try.
But do I want more detailed ones? They're pretty detailed.
Yeah, they are. They're probably a level below these ones.
These are probably metal, aren't they? Or are they?
No, I think they're plastic as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they do look a little more detailed. So, anyways, if you like a huge dungeon crawl, but yeah, look at those. They're very detailed.
Wow.
And like the cool, I don't even know what that is, transparent plastic that's also on some of those. Very, very cool. But yeah, I want to just look. Where are the pledge levels? And let's look at shipping real quick. So USA, if you get the the $323 pledge here, it's $51 in shipping. Estimated delivery the second half of 2026.
Really?
So they're 2 years out, basically. Maybe a little less. And it is crazy. This company, Awaken Realms, they'll have multiple campaigns a year. Like Grim Coven just went live in May, I think. And that one doesn't deliver till like May of 2026 or something. And so they're just like always cranking more of these out. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in there. Just not a David game for that reason. I'm more of a Euro gamer. I don't know that I love dungeon crawl board games. Haven't found one yet, at least, that I've super loved. And the cost of entry to someone who is not rich is a little it's a barrier. But that one's on Gamefound, making a ton of money until December 5th. So also the same day. Okay, next up, this game is called Lairs by a company called Kids Table Board Games. And they make games that they're not like primarily made for kids, but I don't know, kids could play. It's kind of their shtick. This one seems pretty cool. It's called Lairs. I think I already said that. And in this game, you play with one other person. There is an expansion to let you play with more than one person, but primarily it's you versus one other person, and you both make a lair where you are protecting like treasure chests and you're putting walls and villains. And you do that behind a shield so the other player can't see what you're making. Let me see if I can find an example. Here's an example. So you make a little lair, put down chests and bad guys, and then your opponent does the same thing. So they're making a lair on their side. And then there is like a pad of paper that also represents the dungeon. And you and your opponent will take turns kind of moving through each other's lair. And whoever can, I think, open a certain number of their chests first wins. So like basically can get past the all of the baddies that you put in the way. Also comes with some cool metal chests and some bonus cool Lairs pencils. This base game seems like it would be a great jumping in point for like someone that wanted to play with their kids. The expansion, let me see if I can get down to it, is called Deeper Dungeons, and it's packed just full of extra stuff. The dungeons are, like the name says, deeper. So instead of being square, I think they add 3 more layers, 3 more rows of spots that you can add, more walls, more bad guys. There's multiplayer mode where you can play with 1 builder versus 2 explorers in the same dungeon, boss monsters and characters and challenges, and so a lot more like complexity and other crazy stuff added in. You can also get dry erase boards and stuff. Very cool idea, I thought, where you're just trying to make a crazy lair in order to hide your goods and stop them from getting to them. You can also get their other games. Diced Veggies is one I've had my eye on for a while. It's supposed to be pretty fun, where there's all these dice and they kind of get squished together, and then you take this little cardboard knife and you like slice between them and like slide off a piece like you're cutting the veggies there. It's supposed to be kind of fun. It was designed by 2 11-year-olds. Makes me feel very good about my life. So that's kind of the level of games that these guys make, but pretty well loved in the hobby board game space. And cool pieces. Love the dual layered boards that those walls like nest in, and just a pretty cool idea. You also have a meeple here where you're keeping track of like where the other player is moving their meeple. Or sorry, this is where you are moving through your opponent's dungeon, because you'll have a board of your own dungeon. So yeah, cool stuff in there. That is Lairs. Let's just look at the cost here real quick. I don't think it's very high. Where is it here? Base game is $50 in this Kickstarter version, or you can get it bundled with the Deeper Dungeons expansion for $83. And let's just take a peek at shipping since we've been doing that today and it's a little bit fun. Oh, maybe. Shipping is USA about $14 or $15, depending on which one you get. So that is Lairs. Scrolling back up to the top faster. Whoop. That one is also ending on December 5th. A lot of them ending that day. All right, and then last one. It's probably the one I know the least about, but on Gamefound, this is their solo game of the month, and it is called Mech-bunny. And I really like the artwork. Kind of a silly looking cartoony bunny inside a cool little mech. And it's called a card crafting roguelite game of robot rabbit combat, which was a lot of words. There are these cool, I really like this, even though I don't have a game that uses this mechanism yet, but transparent cards that you stack in order to craft different cards, in order to fight stuff, I believe, and kind of move around this roguelite map as this crazy cat, that's not a cat, bunny in a mech suit. So comes with transparent cards, Mech-bunny cards, cards to keep track of locations and to track something over here. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Sleeves that some of those cards will go in, and tokens and a die. So a pretty simple little thing here, but I thought it was had cool enough art, cool idea that I wanted to give it a shout out. Let's just take a peek. I don't know what it costs. You can get the print and play for $5. I don't know how you print and play a transparent card though. But
tissue paper,
or maybe you laminate it or something. I don't know, just an idea. Or they have you can actually get it printed for $24, and shipping on this one is $5 in America or Asia, and looks like $6 most other places. So pretty good price there. So that is Mech-bunny. Devin, I think that's the last one, right? Yes,
it sure
it
is.
is. We went through those kind of fast today, but there were quite a few of them. Devin, of those 8 games, what one is going to be your pick of the week for the week ending? That's not right. Week for November 22nd is when this video is going out.
I want to choose Lands of Evershade, but it's so expensive. But it's my genre. It's like so cool. But I'm going to pick probably this.
Okay.
For its uniqueness, and I don't know. I don't feel like we've looked at many games that look like this before.
I agree.
But
so Devin's
back to the one we were just on,
Lairs. Yep. I think it does look cool. I like the art style, and it seems like it would be a fun 30 minutes. I want to see the time here. It says 40 minutes. Probably can, I don't know. Again, anything under an hour, I think that's pretty cool. The game slowly, like, you don't have to do this. You could just open all the boxes at the beginning. But if you are playing with kids, like, you can start with like the content just in box 1 and then slowly add stuff so they learn the game in kind of pieces. So they've kind of thought this through, like how to have it be a more complex game, like if you get the deeper dungeons and all the extra stuff and like all the other variables, or if you just want to play it with your kids, then in the base game you've got quite a bit of stuff, but it's kind of partitioned off, so you can do it in chunks if you want. So yeah, I think that one is really cool. Let's go back here really quick because I'm having a hard time picking one. 2. And since you picked Lairs, which is a good pick, I like it. Oh man. Plans of Caledonia already got its time in the sun, so I'm not going to pick that one either. I'm going to go with this one here if I can get the link to pull up. Love these links. I'm going to choose Polaris from Simone Luciani. It's kind of an abstract game, which I'm pretty picky with, but I don't have many abstract games that can play more than 2 players in my collection. And so one that doesn't play in too long, again, under an hour, 40 minutes, looks cool, glow in the dark, Not that you're going to play it in the dark, but I guess you could if you wanted. Cool pieces. Looks like it would be a pretty good time just kind of playing these cards, trying to time it right with how the sky is rotating with the cycles of the moon. And it's a pretty good price. So that's probably going to be my pick of the week. And that's going to do it for Crowdfunding Corner for the week of, I keep saying the week of, for November 22nd, 2024. Thank you so much for watching this video. As most of you know, gaming top-down is an independent endeavor. I don't accept money from publishers for previews or opinion-related content, but there are a few ways that you can support the channel and help me keep the lights on. Liking this video and subscribing to the channel helps me to grow. If you're thinking of getting a game that I covered in this video, please click the affiliate link in the description of this video. It helps to support me and doesn't add any cost to your purchase. I also do a weekly gaming podcast where I talk about the board games that I'm playing along with my brother. You can check that out on Apple's podcasts and on Spotify. And you can also get that podcast 3 days early over on our Patreon. You can follow the Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers completely for free. But if you do support us over there, you get some extra perks, like being able to write into the show, getting early access to the show, voting on the games that I'm going to cover and review, and lots of other fun stuff. Thanks so much for your support, for liking and commenting on my videos. You really are what helped keep the lights on for me. Thank you.